Today's all about beans.
Mexican style.
Oh, these beans are so savory and so deep in flavor.
No Mexican platter would be the same without them.
Trust us, folks, after one bite, you're gonna scream,
Ole!
Yay!
Oh, gosh.
We're doing beans, we're doing drunken Borracho beans.
That's
I love
right.
it. So I'm Chris.
And I'm Wesley.
My numero uno amigo Loon.
I thought you were going to call me drunken or
Well,
something.
I was, but I don't think you are you? No. Okay, so let's start making, these beans are so great. They're so fabulous.
So good.
So I'm going to get going we're going to kind of do this, I don't know, in an interesting order. So we're not going to put this bacon into the mix until later, but we're going to go ahead and cook it up
You
now.
want that grease.
I do want a little bit of that grease. And
Yes.
so these are 6 strips of bacon that I've just cut into little bite-sized pieces that we're going to cook up. All right, let's talk about the star
I
of this
love
dish.
it. Yeah, so they're the beans.
The beans.
I'll tell you, folks, I could eat these beans day and night. They're so good.
And he does.
Just a big bowl, and I don't need anything else.
It's a meal. It really is.
It's so good. All right, well, we got pinto beans here.
Yay.
What we did is we grabbed a bag of dried pinto beans. I think that's a pound.
Grabbed it, a pound, 16
pound.
ounces, yeah.
Then threw them into a big old pot, filled that with water, and we let them sit overnight. And then we just drained them the next day, and here they are.
Just what we did.
We just
dried
drained them.
Anyway, we just did it. We threw caution to the wind and we just drained them. So if you don't have time, if you're like I forgot to drain or soak my beans. I've done it so many times. There's a trick. There's a way you can boil them to kind of fast track them, and I've got it in the recipe card, the notes of the recipe card.
Who knew?
I know, but it's better if you let them soak overnight. It just is. Okay, so we're gonna let this cook until this gets nice and crispy.
Smells like bacon.
I love it. Nothing better. Okay, so look at that beautiful.
Bacon is done.
I just want to eat it all right now, and you can't eat it. So we just stirred that till it got nice and crispy and looked like that. And then I used my slotted spoon very carefully on my nonstick skillet. I know I shouldn't do that, but just be careful and remove that.
Scoop it out.
And it's going to render that good, delicious bacon grease. So we're going to continue cooking with it, but we don't need all of it. So I just tilted my pan and got a spoon until I left about 2 tablespoons. Now, like I said, this bacon grease is great to cook with.
Save it.
It's even better than like canola oil, and you can argue with me on that, but I believe it's true. Anyway, look at that.
This is our fat catcher.
It's for what you pour grease in. I've got a link to it in the description if you're interested.
Look at that, just drains down in
Great
there.
for like cooking potatoes, all kinds of so many things. Okay, so now I've got 1 onion here that has been chopped. I'm gonna crank this heat up a little
I'm
bit.
gonna put this in the fridge.
Okay. Oh yeah, please do. So 1 onion. I've got 2 jalapeños. Don't worry. This is not going to create a ton of spice. I've cut the seeds out. I've seeded it. I took out the ribs. These are going to slow cook in these beans, and it's excuse me. It's not super spicy at all.
There's no room in that fridge.
It's because we're a working kitchen. And then I've got 3 garlic cloves here that I've minced that we're going to add to the party, and we're just going to saute these, if I can speak, until they're nice and soft, and that's just a few minutes. Okay, it's smelling good in here.
Now we're getting started.
We are.
Oh, look at those, you guys.
So we sauteed those until they were nice and soft, starting to kind of brown a little bit. That's about 4 to 5 minutes, and then I just transferred them to another bowl. We're not going to use the bacon or the vegetables until after a little while. We're going to get these beans going.
Yes, this is the main event.
The main event, exactly.
As Barbara Streisand and somebody else
Okay,
said.
now you're really dating yourself. Okay, so now you may notice that we're using a lot of pork in these beans. Pork is a common ingredient in a lot of Mexican dishes. I love it.
El cerdo.
And it really just deepens the flavor. So this is from Easter that I got a ham bone. We devoured our ham. Our family was over, and then I said, I'm saving that ham bone. I have several ham bones in there. I'm married to a ham bone. But anyway, do that. So whenever you have, don't throw them away because you can use them and they make soups and dishes that are really good. If you don't happen to have a spare ham bone, don't worry. You want some sort of like pork enhancer, so you can get salt pork from the store. Just be careful. Some salt porks I've gotten are super salty and some are not very salty. So you can adjust that.
And some are sliced. Don't do the sliced one.
Yeah. Because you're going to remove them. Or you can do ham hocks, any kind of like pork chop bones. Just going to deepen the flavor.
Yes.
Okay, so I've talked enough. So now go ahead. Oh, talk about that.
Yeah. So you can't make drunken beans without beer. So this is our favorite, obviously. Mexican beer.
Yeah.
And
So-
like it's going to pour it in there?
Just pour it in.
Yes.
So it's funny, Borracho, did we say this means drunken?
Drunken.
And it's one beer. So this is a very light, these beans, it's their first go around, I guess, because that gets them drunk. But anyway, it's one bottle of beer, and then we're going to go ahead and add in these beautiful beans. Okay.
Yes.
And now
And then I've got some water. I've got 2 cups of water.
just 2 cups of water.
There we go. Just pour that
And then
in.
I've got 4 cups of good quality chicken stock.
Y'all.
Yes. Okay. So now we've begun the process. This is one of those kind of things. It's a fun day Sunday kind of project because it does take a little while to do.
And your house will smell amazing.
It is one of the best smelling things you're ever going to say. So I'm going to bring this to a simmer, and it's going to simmer for 90 minutes, and then we're going to add some other amazing flavor enhancers and just keep on going. Oh my gosh. We need smell-o-vision is what we
Yes,
need because
yes.
this is crazy. So this has been going for about an hour and a half. It's been, you see, this is about the level of the simmer that you want. And you can see my ham bone is really breaking down. And there was some chunks of meat on there, which is great. If that meat falls into the beans, all the better.
Yeah.
So keep an eye on it. I mean, you can walk away, but do kind of keep an eye on it. If it gets too hot, those beans may stick to the bottom of the pan. It also, because it's simmering like this, it's going to evaporate a little bit. So keep a little water on hand. This is pretty good. You want to just keep it kind of nice and soupy. But we are not done. Now we are really going to up the ante.
Yeah.
We are going to add in that bacon that we cooked. Yay. We're going to add in the veggies that we sauteed. Come on, veggies.
Wonderful.
Everybody get in there. And then I've got just 2 nice sized tomatoes that I've just chopped into bite size. These are going to break down. They just add a wonderful flavor component to the overall flavor profile. This is a half a cup of cilantro. All of this, it's going to simmer for another hour and a half. And so it's going to, all of that is just really going to break down, and it just becomes this incredible, amazing soup like beans. Soup like beans. Okay, this is seasoning. This is a teaspoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of dried cumin. I love cooking with cumin so much. Okay, now I told you that pork has got a recurring theme in this. So this is optional, but it's pork lard. I love cooking with pork lard. You may think, oh my God, that's so unhealthy. It's actually healthier than I said before, than like many oils out there. So it adds a depth of flavor that's so prevalent in Mexican cooking that I just can't tell.
yes.
Now, if you were going to, like I said before, if you were going to be using a salt pork to kind of flavor your beans, then be careful on the amount of salt you use. This ham bone that I used had very little salt on it, so I'm going to put about a teaspoon and a half, and we'll taste it later to see if it needs more. But just don't go crazy with the salt. Taste it first and like, okay, no, that has enough salt, or like, no, that needs a little more salt. And then we're gonna do a half a teaspoon of black pepper. And now I'm just gonna, doesn't that look amazing, Wesley?
Yes.
Besides
wow.
being, I know, it's just,
I can't wait to eat it.
I know. I mean, Wesley, he literally makes a meal out of it.
Devour it. Throw some Mexican rice. Oh, your Mexican rice.
Mexican rice, I know. This is good. So like we said earlier, that this is such a great companion, a side dish to all your favorite Mexican platters.
You definitely need your Mexican rice. Chris's Mexican rice is amazing.
It's good. I think it's the real deal. And then, but we also do like our refried beans, which are super yummy. That gives these a run for the money.
And he puts a little lard in those too.
yeah. Lord for everybody. All right, we got to be patient, but we're gonna let this go for another 90 minutes, and then we can chow down.
Yes.
Look at this. Look at this. I mean, you want to talk.
That is piping hot still.
I know. So we let this go for another 90 minutes, and now I'm gonna take this bone out.
Get that big old bone out of there.
Done its job.
Yes.
All that meat fell off there. Yeah, I know. I got a little more over here. That is just beautiful. That's a bowl.
Unbelievable.
It's something about it just makes me so happy.
Bunch of dogs down here.
I know. So you see, this is the kind of consistency you want, just kind of soupy. If it starts to get a little too thin, if there are like too many beans that are showing, add a little more water as you go.
Come on over.
We're gonna bring this over here.
Yes.
And get this out of the way.
Yes. Oh.
Okay.
All right, lay it on me.
I'm gonna lay it on thick. We have a Mexican, it's Tex-Mex / Mexican restaurant that's our favorite to go to. Here in Texas, they're on every street corner. But they serve these Borracho beans, and I'm telling you, I think we've kind of,
You guys,
isn't that great?
look at how wonderful those
This is a big old bowl of them. This is a meal in and of itself.
I love it.
You could totally garnish this with, I sometimes put a little more chopped tomato on top. It doesn't need, I mean, it's so rich in flavor, I think.
A little hot sauce.
Hot sauce is good.
I always like a hot sauce.
I do too.
Just a couple of drops of this
Oh my gosh.
tabasco.
With some Mexican rice and like, oh.
You guys, look at just everything involved in this. It's just, everything looks so good.
I know.
All right, let's jump in.
It's probably a little on the hot side,
Yeah,
Westy,
I
so-
can see already.
So blow on it. I'm so excited. That's died and gone to heaven.
That is amazing. That is so ridiculous. You don't need anything else. Just a bowl of beans.
It is true. I mean, especially when
guys.
it's such a good side dish, but it's so like it's like a bowl of chili.
It is. Yeah. It's. Oh.
He did the other day. I've been playing around with this, and the other day he ate an entire meal of just the beans.
And that Mexican rice of yours.
Yeah, the Mexican rice.
Oh wait, hold on.
I mean, the depth of flavor, that ham bone, all of that. This is one of those you want to do it nice
The
and
salt
slow.
is just right too.
Salt levels.
Oh, y'all.
I think I know.
This is 100,000% Loon approved.
Remember when it just used to be Loon approved?
I know.
Oh
We've
my God.
evolved.
I know.
We should all evolve.
We should. Just keep striving upwards. You guys, this is so good. This is so much fun to make. It has that
I'm
really
just playing with it. Look at all that.
authentic, delicious flavor. You play with your beans.
Yeah.
Please make it. You're going to be so happy that you did, and your loved ones are going to love you even more. Beans, beans, beans.
And nothing but beans.
Yay!
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
It's the magical fruit.